Hello, I'm going to show you around Late Nite Labs simply because they don't really merge well with Blackboard. So you're going to have to go here to do your labs because they're a really good virtual lab, but you'll have to save your final assignment and then paste it into a Word document to submit in the class. I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, I'm not exactly sure how your link is going to work, but probably you'll find something like this. If you don't see your courses after you're in, click on courses and it'll pull up what you're enrolled in because we'll be enrolling you at Allen. All right, so Intro to Chemistry is the one we're looking at. I have put in, these are all the labs you're going to do this semester. But this one you won't do. I'm just using this for an example so I can show you a couple of things. So I can show you graphing, how the lab works, and also can show you how to copy and paste your final product, your final assignment into a file to submit. All right, it's kind of a workaround. All right, the first thing you're going to do is go into the lab. And you're going to do a couple of sample labs and intros and things like that. So you'll see all of this. I'm not going to go through because it's kind of, you'll be working through it yourself. But generally, this is where you find everything in your lab. Containers, and when you put your cursor on them, you'll see what they are. Materials, same thing. And instruments, same thing. All right, so you'll have to drag these things down to your workbench to use them. You'll have background information that you'll want to read first. Then you'll click on procedures and it'll tell you exactly what to do. So this says take 6 containers, 6 beakers from the containers, 1, and you'll notice they have numbers so that you'll keep track because that's going to be important because you're going to put different amounts of reactants in each one. 3, 4, all right, so that goes on and you're going to get the mass of each. They tell you. All right, so we need a balance to do that. So I put my empty beaker on there, and it is 85. So this is what I'm going to show you. Put your notes, just like you were in a lab, you would keep your lab notebook with your data that you collect. And so here I have all 6 beakers with their mass. They happen to weigh the same. In real labs, they're probably not going to. All right, so I can go back to my procedure. Oh, and save my notes. After I enter them, always save them, or else you're going to lose them. So I've saved I finished this whole thing, and I've saved all of my data in my lab notes. Let's pretend. All right, so I'm all done. So I'm going to clear my table, and I'm going to exit the lab. Okay, let's go and look at the assignment and how you complete a graph and then how you submit it to our Blackboard shell because you need to do it there. You can't submit it through this Late Nite Labs website. You need to submit it through Blackboard. We have a workaround on that. All right, so I worked on this a little bit and saved to finish later. You can do that as many times as you like so that you can get everything done. You don't have to do it in one sitting. I followed the instructions that they told me right here to fill out this table, and then I started working on a graph. I clicked here first to make sure my graph would go there. Then I clicked on graph, and now I have that graph in here. Oops, let me click on it. And there's my graph. I don't want to show the trend line. I put the title here. I just clicked on it and typed in my title. I put the axes. I clicked here and just typed exactly what they told me to type right here, that the volume of vinegar in mLs, you always have to put the unit, is on the x-axis, and the mass of reacted NaHCO3 is on the y-axis, and that's in grams. And so that's smaller, but it's right here. So then I went ahead and entered in my data that I had, all right? So, and saved my graph. So now my graph is done. So the next questions that you'll answer are using that graph to answer your questions. So you'll go through all of this and answer your questions by looking at your graph and extrapolating your data. Every time you make a graph, you're making it so you can see your data clearly, and you will always have questions that you answer by looking at your graph after you've completed it. Okay, so if I were you, let's pretend I finished all this. I would save and finish later, and I would always do that. Always. So everything's saved in there, right? Everything's there. If you submit for grading, you can't see it again. So don't do that. Do not submit for grading. It won't be graded there. You have to do this workaround to get this graded. So I'm on a PC. Whatever your computer is, you want to click inside here and highlight all of it. For me, that's Control A. All right. And then Control C, it's copy. Then I am going to pull up a brand new, for me, I'm going to use Word. The school provides it, so I'd really encourage you to. Click inside there, and I'm going to, I'll just paste it, Control V. And there I go. I've got all my data in here. This is what you will save and submit to through the class. All right. So you even have your graph that you can make bigger, so you can see it if you want. Sort of. It's terrible resolution, I see. So apparently you have to answer all your questions while you're looking on the screen. Okay. So you've got this all filled out. So now you want to put your name. All right, I put my name and the date. Now I'm going to save it someplace I know I can find it again. So what I'm going to do is put it in my computer folder. If I were you, I'd make a new folder just for assignments so you don't get mixed up. All right. So now, how am I going to name this? I'm going to name it the name of the lab, Alka-Seltzer and dot, then Deb Erickson, your name. All right, so that just got saved. And now that's ready to submit. Let me go back to our shell and show you how that works. Okay, we're going to pretend that lab is in Module 1. So I just clicked on Assignments and Module 1. And assignments are over here in the left menu as well. And here are your other assignments for this module, but let's go down to lab activities. Let's pretend this is actually the sample lab. You'll have the background information. I will have put in the background information for each of the labs, and then that's the link that takes you to your virtual lab. We'll put it in when we have your classes with Late Nite Lab linked up. And what will you submit for grading? This is talking about how you copy that assignment to hand it in as a Word document. You can also use a PDF file, actually. And the video will be right here that I'm making right now. Do not submit the assignments to Late Nite Labs. You won't be able to access it after you do that, and it won't be graded there. It won't be lost forever. You'll need to contact your instructor. All right, here's the grading rubric. And you can go over to see, I should hope, what the top one is. Save your completed file. That's what I just did. I named it the lab.myname. Save as a place I know where I can find it. I encourage you to make a folder right now on your first lab and just keep them all there so you don't lose them. All right, now I'm ready to submit it. I'm in a course shell that's not available to students, so it's not going to let me do the whole process, but don't worry, this will show you how to do it. All right, you'll see the rubric. You can click on that and look at the rubric again. This will tell you to browse your computer. I'm going to look, and let's say it goes to my documents, and I happen to know that I kept it in my chemistry folder. I spelled assignments wrong, and then there it is. So I open it. You'll see it's now it's right here, and I can attach it when I submit it. And how do I do that? Scroll down to submit. I think there's one at the top as well. Mine's not going to work, because the course is not available to students. But I'll show you, click on that. And for you, that will work. It will be saved, and then you can go back and check to make sure it's saved appropriately. If you have any questions, contact your instructor, and we hope you enjoy the labs.